Hey, welcome back to my watercolor channel, and today I will paint some tulips. I have painted this painting last year, however I have not recorded it, but I thought it might be a good idea to do so this year. And those tulips are basically from my garden and they appeared in the springtime, so they were a little bit of a yellow and orange colors. I have planted this last year before the winter some tulip onions into the ground. However, this year they're gonna be purple. But now back to my painting. I have used a mixture of two yellows because I wanted to have a nice lemon yellow and deep yellow together. And the first layer is very light in colors, as it is quite common to do so with when painting flowers, because they're very fragile, or the petals are very fragile. And then I added a really nice orange color made of a deep yellow and some cadmium red. I also mixed the green, so basically out of ultramarine blue and some of the lemon yellow that I have used before. And then adding a very nice leaf next to the tulip, so it kind of gives a nice contrast to the petals as well. And when the first layer has dried, I kind of continue with the second layer. So now I have mixed some more stronger colors, stronger in pigments, which is orange, and the same. I used the same colors for the orange as I used before, and then having a much deeper red. And here I used some of the cadmium red and some of the ultramarine blue, so it's kind of a little bit like a dark red. But first I focus to add the orange, so I kind of like add a bit of orange onto the petal, and when it feels that there's too much of the color, I add some of the water there as well. Now I'll continue with my second tulip on the right. It is quite good when painting flowers to have like different forms or different sizes of flowers, so it really helps with the composition. In this case I had a little bit of my flowers are nearly the same size, but they are showing in different directions, which is quite good as well. And one on the left side, the petal is a little bit falling downwards, so it kind of it helps to create a different form. And now I try to add more of the details here to the leaf. So adding a much dark bluish color, and it gives a really nice contrast there. There's more darker blue, a bit on the top, and I mixed I added some of the orange to the green, so it gives a nice balance, and I added to the leaf as well. I wanted to have a little bit of a turquoise blue background, and the reason why is that I wanted the paddles to be seen quite well as well, because they're very weak in color, so I wanted to frame them a little bit with a turquoise blue, which fits here quite well. I use a big sized mop brush to spread the colors, so it helps to do this job very quickly. And then as well as on the top, I have not adding any masking fluid, so I need to be quite careful, and I have prepared a lot of turquoise blue beforehand, so I don't run out in the middle of painting. The layer is very light in color here as well, so it's not too strong yet, but the idea while the paper is still quite wet, I add some other colors as well to emphasize the flowers, as for example as the orange and then a little bit of a yellow next to it, and then adding as well some of the bluish colors, of orange colors. If it feels like it's too much, you can just take them off with the big brush. And here adding the turquoise blue. So in the middle between those flowers. And then I continue now to add the last layer. So here I have my little bit of a purplish brownish red color ready, and I use a very thin brush. I want to be this layer quite dark in color, so it really gives a nice contrast within the flower, and the petals are more emphasized, or the edges of the petals are more emphasized as such. So adding a little bit as well in the middle of the petals of the darker colors, it gives a nice form, so the form is being a little bit more rounder, as well as on the sides, so it's kind of like the petals giving a nice shadow onto the flower. And I don't really have a reference picture for this one, but I don't mind. And a bit here on the side. Or underneath, it's always quite good to emphasize where the flower is kind of starting. And adding more of details there, especially at the back of the flowers. They are much darker colors, so that the ones at the front are really nicely emphasized. It's a little bit takes a little bit longer to do, as well as adding more of the roundness to the flower, so it's kind of like a cup. Especially the tulip feels a bit like a cup flower. And the roundness is quite important here, but then also adding more details to the top and around the edges. But basically that's it. So thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe. Bye.